Hello everybody, this is Arlen Von Paintenstein of Trader's Gate in the Celestial Kingdom. I'm going to do a quick little tutorial here. This is really simple. This is just on a sash. How I've been doing my sashes for quite some time. I'm going to move the sewing machine first. We're going to be doing a warrior sash. It's what I had fabric for today. This is about 2.5 inches wide. It is 2.5 inches wide. It started off at 10 inches, but I've done a number of folds, as you can see in here. The way I have done this is that it is folded. There's 3 folds for 4 layers of fabric here. I started doing this quite a while ago. I think everyone's very first sash that they make is probably that little tube one that everybody makes, where you just sew the fabric on one side, flip it inside out, and then you go. This I started doing because it's a little more stable. It washes very well, and it won't compress or get weird unless you're wearing something over it. This is 2 pieces of fabric. I think each one's about 34 inches long to fit me. They are connected, of course, once here, so you can see, and then again to make a full loop. And with this one, I wasn't lazy. With the seam on the inside, I ironed it down and then I sewed it down flat. The other one I didn't do that because I didn't want to re-iron my folds. So the idea here is that everything is folded over a number of times. It gives it a lot of stability, makes it very durable, makes it keep its shape a lot better, I find. And you don't need to do a whole lot with it as far as maintenance. It does take a little bit of practice to get, if you're not familiar with sewing, to make sure that you get your pieces right. The very first time I ever did this, it was actually one of my first sewing projects. I accidentally inverted one of the sides, so it ended up being a Mobius strip. So that's something to think about, but this is pretty simple. We've already got the 2 ends stitched together. I didn't want to waste the time showing you how to fold and iron. We probably already know how to do that, but in the future I'll do a video. There's just the one simple stitch that was used, just a straight stitch to put it together. And that's all we're going to be doing here on the side to keep everything nice and tight together. So what I'm going to be doing here is putting the open side on this side, on the right hand side. I'm going to take this off because this is kind of like doing a sleeve on your tunics or the bottom of your pants or whatever. This is pretty thick. I mean, we're looking at 4 layers, maybe 8 layers, almost 12. Depending on how you have this set up, but we're going to try to do a pretty narrow stitch here. I'm using black thread, doesn't really matter what thread you're using. If you're doing, I'm going to be doing Guildmaster sashes here soon for our park, and this stitch is probably going to be done with a gold thread, and then there's going to be a matching gold thread on the opposite side. I might even do a satin finish stitch. I haven't really decided yet. Let's make sure everything is visible here. Sorry for the bad angle, but it's the only tripod I have. Let me see. Yeah, so this is going to be pretty narrow. I will eventually do a video to show how thin I try to do stuff like this. My next video is probably going to be on hems, finished hems, and seam allowances, stuff like that, as well as a French seam, which, if you don't know, is the seam on the inside of your blue jeans. Also at the top of your shoulder on your shirts, mostly, sometimes as well. Hopefully that shows up. But we removed this for the same purpose that we would with doing a sleeve. It makes it narrow, gives us more control, and we're gonna go. So I'm doing a pretty long stitch length on my machine. It's a 4. I think that's like 4 millimeters. But we're gonna go slow through the seam here. Also making sure, from what I'm seeing here, I can still see one of the feet of my sewing machine. I've got the guideline pretty close to the edge here, and I'm just making sure that on the open edge here we have both of the folds matched up as best as possible. I find that when you do that, it makes it look a lot better. Adjust every once in a while. The really cool thing about this is that there's that one piece I removed has like bobbins and stuff in it for the machine. Oops. And it's kind of bulky, so getting rid of that, we got better control. A little slow, getting a little cocky. Important thing is to make sure you're staying as straight as you can. If you can do it fast, do it fast. If you can't, don't worry about it. It's kind of like the whole tortoise and the hare thing, you know? Slow and steady wins the race. It also helps you from, or prevents you from making mistakes, which in the long run will help you save time. So over here, I'm going to try to keep this steady here, because we got that other hem, or seam I should say. I lifted the foot there. Normally you wouldn't, but I did because it's got this weird lip right here, and that's from having folded the fabric over. And I did that to help it get under without bunching. I do apologize again for the camera angle. I'm trying to take a look at that, make sure I'm not covering it up. I got a little too close to the edge there. Pull this through again. Depending on how this goes, it's not going to win an A&S event at all, but I mean, if you made a number of them, I guess you could. If they were really good. Did some applique for the classes on them. Mine, these are just going to be super simple. Sure. they ever get weird, so long as your folds were straight, you can just simply iron it and get all the kinks out. Generally, make sure. I think I need just a shorter tripod, actually. Slowing down because we're getting to the end. As you can see, there's like this little weird bit of bump here that does happen. I'm not sure what might have caused that because everything seemed to be lined up very well, but it happens. So this one I might not be entering in after all. There's a slight imperfection in it. Back up and over. That sucks. I was hoping that wasn't going to happen. That sometimes does. I just rip off the extras in there. So as we see here, we had the one little hiccup there. It happens. That's okay. It'll be the underside. You won't even see it, kind of. These are reversible though, which is great. But that's done. It's sturdy. I mean, I'm not sure if I would tow a car with it. You probably could. But you have that very, very close stitch there. Very close to the edge. Not sure if you could see it. It's pretty close. Could be better. I'll probably do a couple more of these. Probably talk about stuff. We'll be doing more tutorials later. But that's a warrior sash. Thank you. Have a good day.